Welcome to Tim's Chop Shop. What we're working on today is we're going to be filling the holes in on our 1979 Ford F100 frame. Currently what we have on the F100 frame is a Crown Vic subframe and a C-notch in the rear in parallel four-link. We did not install the Crown Vic subframe or the C-notch. What we've been doing so far is going over the frame and correcting some of the issues that we were having with it, such as the frame rail was about a quarter inch too short on the left-hand side, and a few other just minor details that need done, re-welded, things that we want to do a little better for what we're doing here. What we're using this frame for is we're going to be using this to build a street rod out of a 1940 Ford pickup truck. We currently have the cab stored in another area of the shop, and we'll be getting to that here shortly. But today, we're going to be filling in holes here on the side. We're going to be seeing, because the cab is actually going to be moved further back on, and we're going to have the engine sitting closer to here versus up there. So let's get to work. Now, one thing you always need to keep in mind whenever you're welding, cutting, grinding, always make sure you're using your protective equipment, your safety glasses, your welding helmet. If you need gloves, make sure you wear them. You don't want to hurt your hands, you don't want to hurt your eyes. You want to take care of yourself. So let's get to work here. So what we're going to start doing is we're just going to start filling these holes in. We're going to weld them. If we have to make a couple passes as to not burn them, then we'll do that. And then we're going to just grind this down and smooth the frame rail out. So right now what we've done is we've welded these holes the whole way up to about here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to start grinding them down, smoothing them out. That way it gives us a nice clean looking finish, as opposed to having holes or welding balls everywhere. And as you can see, in just a short amount of time, we've already gotten 4 of these knocked down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we keep this up, we'll get these knocked down, as well as the rivets here. There's 4 little rivets that need just flushed up so you don't see them sticking out. So I'm going to take a break here from videoing and we'll catch up then. So what we've done here is we've ground down what we were trying to grind down. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a 36 grit flap wheel and we're just going to clean the surface up. And what you can see is we've gotten a lot of the rust off here. A little more to do down here, we'll continue on. But all we're trying to do is get the bulk of it off, clean it up, make it look halfway decent. So our next step we're going to do is pull the cord over here. We're going to unplug the grinder. We're going to plug in a sander. And you can do this, you don't have to. It's totally up to you. This is how I do it. Doesn't have to be how you do it. I don't know if it's the right way, but it's my way. And I'm the one building this hot rod. And we're trying not to break the bank on it. We're trying to make it decent. We're trying to make more of a driver than anything. So this is how we're doing it. And again, we're not going for perfection. It's not a show truck. If we take it to a car show, we're not going to a car show to win a trophy. We're going to a car show to hang out with our boys and just enjoy the day. We just want a cool cruiser to just enjoy, seriously. That's all we want to do is we want a car to enjoy. We don't want a car that costs us $100,000 and we're afraid to take out of the garage on the weekend. We want a car that reasonably priced that the average person can obtain and you can enjoy. So the next thing we got going on, we got a little bit of cleaner degreaser here on a rag. Before anybody says, Tim, is that a sock? Yeah, it's a sock. It's an old sock that the elastic's going in. It's now a rag. Again, we're not spending a ton of money on stuff that's just gonna go to waste. What we're doing here is we're just trying to get any grease or dust cleaned off of here before we put a little bit of paint on this area before it flash rusts again sitting in the garage, because again, it's damp in here sometimes and it could easily flash rust just a little. So what we're going to do is put just a little bit of this VHT roll bar and chassis paint. Is there better paint on the market? Yeah. Do I care for this application? Not really. I mean, again, I want to drive this truck to shows with my friends, cruise, go on trips. Nothing real fancy. It's literally just a truck to play with. It doesn't have to be anything that, you know, comes out of a high-end hot rod shop. This is Tim's Chop Shop. And if I want it to be just a cruiser, it's going to be just a cruiser. And as you can see, with just a little coverage, blackened up, and looks 10 times better than with the holes on it. What we'll do is, you come over here, this is what it would look like before the holes were done, and over there will be after. So you may ask yourself, why do we weld every single hole as opposed to putting a plug in and then welding the plug in? The answer is simple, because I don't have any steel plugs here to do frame rails with right now. As a matter of fact, I don't have any steel plugs here to do sheet metal work with at this time. So what we did was we made do with what we have. We have a welder, we have a spool of wire, we got gas. Make it happen. It's easier to get the job done now than procrastinate and say, well, I don't have this, I don't have that. Make do with what you got and keep the project rolling. The goal here is to have this thing ready to drive again in the fall. Honestly, I'd like it more for the summer if that's possible. And it is very possible depending upon how busy we get at work. I mean, right now we're fairly busy. I'm working some overtime and all. But this eventually is going to need to get out of here. And we're going to get it done. And stay tuned. Keep up with what's going on here at Tim's Chop Shop. I'm Tim. Nice having you over.